Hello everyone, welcome to our virtual USG Alumni Talks, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Dania, I work at the American Center Tashkent, and today I'm pleased to welcome our guest speaker, Fulbright TEA alumna Feruza Erkulova. Hi Feruza.
Hello everyone.
Feruza is a participant of the Fulbright TEA program in 2017. She's a PhD researcher and she's currently working at Namangan State University and is running the educational center IPEC Prestige Edu. She's a Teacher of the Year 2010 and Woman of the Year 2012. And she is currently working on creating applications for schools. So besides teaching, she loves traveling and learning about different cultures and traditions. And for our today's session, she prepared a wonderful presentation about using digital technologies as a learning tool. And you, our dear viewers, have a great opportunity to ask your questions to our speaker while we're live on Facebook and YouTube. All right, Feruza, welcome to our studio and thank you so much for being our speaker today.
So, assalamu alaikum. Good day, everyone. First of all, I'm going to say how I'm grateful to American Center and the U.S. Embassy for giving us so many opportunities with their programs, with their scholarships, with different grants for us to see and to realize our ambitions. So before starting my presentation, before start talking about my theme, using digital technology as a learning tool, I would like to warn that I live in a remote area with poor internet connection. That's why I have chosen this theme, using digital technologies. And if we have some problems with my internet connection, just take into account that I live in a poor internet connection play. My presentation, I would like to show my camera because, as I have mentioned, I am with good poor connection. So let's start. First of all, I'm going to say that my visit to the US changed me not only professionally, but also personally. So I gained lots of scholarships. Okay, so is it? So so I'm sharing the screen. So using digital technologies. So TEA was my biggest chance to discover myself, not only professionally, as I have mentioned, but personally, where I have my lots of friends from abroad and still we're in tight contact. So there in the US, lots of my dreams came true. First of all, since my 3rd-year-old, I was dreaming about seeing the Statue of Liberty, and my teachers, my friends, they gave me to realize this ambition and to have a chance to study at Harvard University and take some classes there. And I had an opportunity to talk about the gender gap, and I gave my speech and presented with my presentation about the opportunities and challenges for genders in the community. But they were surprised how our country is giving the opportunities to the ladies, to the women of the society. And with my TEA family, we still have tight knit, as I have mentioned. We organize different kinds of sessions, different kind of trainings with them on the Zoom, especially during the pandemic situation. We taught and learned from each other different kinds of methods and techniques. During the pandemic situation, I did some surveys according how the usage of online education had some challenges, and there was a survey out of 650 students from 4 regions of Uzbekistan, Namangan, Andijan, Fergana, and Bukhara. And there were some questions for them. If you see, how do you feel, for example, overall about distance education? And if you pay attention, most of them had the poor feeling here, and even below average, even average. And so, and especially the most important question here was, do you have access to a device for learning online? So yes, half of them had the perfect connection, but for the people like us who are living in the remote areas, they had internet connection, but with poor one. And so most of the teachers and students were using their smartphones, because with their smartphone with poor connection, it was easier for them to connect and to work online. And for most of them, for 54% of them, it was moderately effective, while for 22 of them was extremely effective, even not at all effective. So now, before my main talk, I'm going to discuss, to talk about my most favorite digital tools, tools which I'm using, which I have been using and learned in the US. But at first, when we were taught, especially when I was taught how to use digital technologies during the lesson, it was challenging for me even to understand, because I have never used to have them before in my classes. I just have ordinary offline classes, and I have never used them before. There, I was in love with some of them. And at the end, I will tell you why I have chosen this, especially these tools. Okay, so my favorite one is Prezi. So Prezi is a digital software for creating interactive presentations according to the research, the innovative way in which Prezi helps us make presentation by zooming leads to more effective, more persuasive, and more engaging presentation compared to the presentation made with PowerPoint. If you're still unaware of what you can do with a software, I strongly recommend you that you check it out and to present it to your students. Who knows, maybe this would be one of the digital tools for classrooms that would help you keep the attention of the kids. And one point, Prezi can work in poor connection, with the internet of poor connection. That's why I love it. So the next, my favorite one is Animoto. So video is one of the most engaging mediums of the modern day, which is why you should definitely incorporate it into your classroom. Animoto is one of the digital tools for classrooms that can be used by both teachers and students for educational purposes. Animoto helps you create animated videos easily. You can create photo slideshows, stitch videos together, add text and more images to come up with a truly engaging video in the end. So Animoto also works with poor internet connection. So the next one, also my favorite one, Pixton. So we make students write a story when they can draw it for a change. Digital tools for classroom like Pixton boost the children's visual thinking and creativity while it engages them to the fullest. This tool allows little and big students to make comics and storyboards. This activity can be both educational and fun. So I guess most of you know how to use Padlet. Even 2 years ago, even a year ago, I was not aware of Padlet, but I liked it. So Padlet is a digital pin board that allows participants, students, even teachers, contribute by pinning different images, videos, text files, links, and more. So digital tools for classroom like Padlet motivate students to work together and brainstorm like a team. You can customize the background to chalkboard, blackboard, wood, sand, and many more options. The layout a great stream of free work as well as control to have access to the board. Okay, so the next one is so creative. So you know what I like about so creative? You may do the assessment. So creative is one of the digital tools for classrooms that will help you assess your students and get immediate insight on students' knowledge. At the same time, using Socrative is fun for you and for your students. So basically, they can have fun while taking a test. You can launch very structured assessment and follow the results in real time. So if you pay attention, there are some instructions how to use Socrative. You may download an app and register. You have to register. But for this app, you don't have to have rich internet connection. You may have poor internet connection like mine. So, and how to assess the students receive immediate feedbacks about, okay, this is the best way. They receive their feedbacks, but it has disadvantage. Teacher has to work individually with each student. And the most interesting one is VoiceThread. So VoiceThread is a great digital tool which can be used in the classroom in many ways, especially to practice the students' oral language. VoiceThread is basically an app for presentations and storytelling, which actually records the students talking. You see, so students can talk and even they can listen to their talk, even they can check their speech. This way, the students can practice their speaking skills while building confidence and allows teachers to assess their work. Okay, so next one. Okay, so technology is good for students learning, and even according to my survey, teachers agreed that digital technology helps students with additional or special learning needs, has led them to experiment with new approaches to teaching and learning, help students go deeper into their learning, give students more control over their own learning, they can control their own learning, and help students see connections between school learning and their own lives. But it has some disadvantages. So if you have difficulty in connection, if the students are bad at digital technology at home, if they do not have device, they will have some problems here, and especially with poor internet connection. So that's why, taking into account the 6 before mentioned tools, I started to develop super grammar app. Why especially why especially grammar? Because we have different kind of tools, digital tools, where we can develop our writing, all 4 skills, but students are always focused on having some mistakes in grammar, and they fear of making grammar mistakes. So, though the name is Super Grammar, but it's not only focused on grammar. So I'm working, it's still in process. And I need some support from the teachers, and we have special certificate, and it has started, and you have to go there. What is good here, what you would like here, it can work with poorest internet connection, and even you can work offline. So taking all the tools I have mentioned before, I have told right now, I have applied them in this app, but the students can work offline here. If you have questions, now I'm switching on my camera, and I have mentioned that I with poor internet connection, I have switched my camera.
Thank you so much, Feruza. We would like to remind why we're live. You are all welcome to ask your questions and put your comments. Please do so you will get to learn more about digital technologies using at the classrooms. Okay, Feruza, I'd like to ask about your applications. So you have created a few of them. How does your school benefit from the applications?
Mm-hmm. Or I have, yes. So Namangan, so I'm from Namangan, and especially I'm from a remote region, Mingbolak district, and we have, I guess, the poorest internet connection throughout the world. I guess I know. So, and it was especially designed for the regions with poorest internet connection. That's why I did some surveys from Bukhara, from Fergana, from Namangan, Andijan, and some. It was from Samarkand, yes, and there was some service, and the students disagreed with digital learning online. So that's why I came to conclusion. Even I had difficulty to teach them online. So they benefited how? They will benefit because students can put their videos, and the time when they put will be seen. Will be always for the teacher if the student is doing his home task on time. That's beneficial because online you can so you can observe your student, you can you be aware what the student is doing, but with our offline, so everything is recorded there, the time, even when the student was last seen, everything is possible here.
Great, thank you. So speaking about the internet connection, so in the remote areas, as you mentioned, it's internet connection is a challenge.
Yeah.
How do you overcome this kind of technological issues?
So we tried everything. So even the best Wi-Fi connections, even Wi-Fi wires, even we had unlimited internet access. Everything doesn't work here, but we tried to do something. But why I did the application, and I'm going to say it again. So as I had challenges, as I had difficulties while teaching them online, so even I had some nervous day, even I was I was so sad those days, and even the students were, and I was thinking what to do with them. Okay, so students cannot enter, they cannot access the internet, they do not have access to the internet, so what to do? So with my internet programmer, he's a specialist, he advised me, okay, so to create something which can work offline. He knows everything about programs, I know, and he had helped me to create this app, and all those I mean paths of creative was thread and what I have and more to crazy were put there. 6 tools were put there, but those applications, those apps work online, but my app works offline, can work offline.
Thank you. We have a question from Gulshan Mahmudova. She's asking, thank you for sharing information about these great tools, Feruza. Which of them your students enjoy most and why?
Okay, thank you, Gulshan, for your question. So, I have been using more than 100 of tools, but Crazy, Animoto, Pixton, VoiceThread, or Crazy Tablet are my favorite ones, the 6 ones. In the US, I learned how to use Kahoot, and my students like Kahoot. And during my presentation today, I didn't say anything about Kahoot because when I came back from the US, I presented for secondary school teachers about Kahoot and how to work with this one. That's why I didn't say anything about Kahoot, but the students' favorite one is Kahoot.
Thank you. What else did you learn while you were in the United States during your exchange program? What were your big takeaways?
Danya, so I have learned so many things. Okay, before saying about it, I failed many times to pass through the exam, especially my application form, because I was very bad at reading instructions. I never followed instruction. It is my weakest point, I know, I must confess. So, there I learned, first of all, I changed myself personally. There I learned how to behave myself among people because and there I learned how to follow the time I started to respect the time. You know, we have African time here in Uzbekistan. We never follow. For example, if the meeting started at 5, we come 5 minutes past, yes, later, or even half an hour later. So and I learned lots of things. Technologies, how to run the classes, how to use most the latest technologies, the latest methods during the classes. Everything I learned there. Even I learned how to talk to people, how to behave myself. And I have mentioned not only professionally but personally. First of all, personally, I have changed myself.
Thank you. And speaking about your applications, do you get help from your colleagues? Do you do you make a teamwork? How does it work?
So I started, especially Bukhara, Namangan, Fergana, and Dijan teachers were helping with me. Were helping me. So I'm so sorry. But I need their support. I need more support from all regions because I have to know what teachers want to get, what teachers want to put here. I want to know what to apply here and what to implement here because it will be beneficial. I don't know what can expect. What can we expect from the pandemic? Maybe we will have, maybe we will not. Maybe it is just simple one. But we have to be ready. We must be ready for any situations. And I need the team. I need teachers to work with me. I need how to express. I need the teachers to know what they need and to put here in my app for the students, which will be beneficial for the students and for them as well.
Sounds great. And here are some comments. Awesome, Feruza from Dilafruz Mamatova. Mashrabek Rahimjonov says, good luck to my teacher Feruza Erkulova from
They know about app, that's why.
Lapis Lazuli. Thank you so much. So many good comments.
Thank you so much.
Okay, would you like to share anything else, like give some tips and advice to little students, to school students regarding using digital technologies?
Okay, so during my observation while I was teaching, I noticed that students and school children know better than us. They know everything about using the digital technologies. Even they help me. Even two great student helped me how to use digital technology. Even he helped me how to switch, how to off the technologies. So I guess they know how to use because even the 6 months baby knows how to use his smartphone, any kind of tools. So we just need them give them some directions, instructions, and we have to be better. Even we have to show us in the best ways. So we have to know, I guess teachers must know how to use digital technologies because as I have mentioned, maybe we will not have the pandemic situation. May Allah saves us.
So during this pandemic, all of us switched to remote, to teleworking, to working online, and most of the teachers also had challenges in working with digital technologies. So did you contribute, did you help them in working with, working with on internet, online, using these digital technologies?
Yes.
Did you make any workshops?
Yeah, I did. At the beginning, I started doing some workshops, even with the U.S. Embassy with it in my page, on the Facebook. Also, there is an invitation card. So I did more than 5 trainings online, and it was beneficial for them. While teaching, I learned lots of things even because there were lots of teachers and they asked me some questions, and even I asked them some questions which were difficult for me, and while teaching them I learned lots of things.
You learned too. Okay,
Yes,
great.
yes.
We have another question from Gulshan Mahmudova about your exchange program. What part of the teaching excellence and achievement program did you like most?
Okay, so I liked everything. If the opportunity is given second, I will take part in T program again because I was in love with it. So T program gives us everything. So teachers, they gives us everything. They are listening to us. They are not only teaching us. For example, in my application, I wrote my ambitions, I wrote my dreams, and the teacher, the curator, the leaders, the mentors helped us to realize everything. Especially, I like the friends abroad. I got acquainted with different people, and where, as I have mentioned, we are still in tight knit. We are working together. We are in a strong collaboration. Every night we're talking to each other about our news, what we are doing in our educational system. Not only about education, we're even talking about our personal life. I like this part of T program most of all. I made real life friends. They are my family, my T family.
Which is great. And you mentioned that you like learning about cultures and traditions of different
Yes.
countries.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
did you show our culture to your American friends?
Okay, so I guess I have no. I forgot to mention that during our second day, when it was our second day, with my two friends from Bukhara, from Khwarezm and Tashkent, we took the second place, presenting the cultures and traditions of our country amongst 38 countries. And I was wearing special national dresses, and I was wearing okay, but I never do it in my country because I like just being ordinary. But they, I all the time was wearing different kind of national dresses, national styles. I was in national style.
That's awesome.
Everything, everywhere I was representing my country. I tried having my flag all the time.
That's great. Thank you. Another question from Nasiba Jakbarova. Thank you, Feruza, for a wonderful presentation. I totally agree that teachers need to learn how to work with new technologies. So that was a comment from Nasiba. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nasiba Jakbarova.
Also, we have a few comments. The saying hello from Shaira. Hello, Shaira. From Maftuna Hakulova. The information was precious. It was awesome. Thanks for everyone.
Okay, Danya, I would like to add something here. May I?
Sure.
So I have presented partly about Padlet, so creative voice thread, Pixton, Animoto. So I would like to share more.
Feruza, we lost you. Okay, let me contact Feruza separately.
Okay. So, as you see,
Okay, yeah, Feruza is back.
yes, I will be covering because of why,
And
as I have
yeah, you were
mentioned
caught
during
at
the.
the interesting discussion.
Imagine,
You
Danya,
wanted to
during
say
the
something.
lesson when I was teaching, I had this situation all the time. When I was saying, when I was telling the students something interesting, I was cut off the internet.
Mhm. We have another question just popped up
Mhm.
from Malika Ahmadalieva. Can you give an example of how to achieve the aim during the lesson? Because not every lesson can be taught using digital technologies. Thank you,
Yes,
Malika.
okay. I like the question. How to achieve the aim during the lesson? Okay, so first of all, we have to put the objectives. By the end of the lesson, what you will have to do with the students during the lesson. At the beginning of the lesson, they cannot achieve. Though this teacher is with high tech knowledge about the digital technologies, but he cannot apply with teaching English, he cannot reach the aim, he cannot reach the goal. So digital technologies, we have to know it quite well, and how to apply them in teaching English, we have to know them both. So as I have mentioned, during my lessons, pandemic taught us how to develop ourselves digitally as well. Not only teaching English, but teaching English digitally.
Okay. Thank you. And I think that was the last question of our today's session, and it's time to wrap up. I want to thank you, Feruza, for taking time to speak to us today on this very important topic, and I hope everyone benefited from it.
Yes, if the teachers want to know more about it, I will put them on my Facebook page, and they may find me on Telegram, Feruza Erkulova. Just they have to write Feruza Erkulova for searching. I will share more about the today's tools, about teaching tools in teaching English. And here I would like to thank you, Danya, and the U.S. Embassy for giving the teachers from remote areas to show ourselves, to see the world, to make
It's our
friends.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure, and thank you.
We must be grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks everyone for watching us.
Thank you, everyone.
For your great comments and questions. All right, and see you in 2 weeks at our next USG Alumni Talks. Bye bye.
Goodbye.